said, how does one stay true to oneself when there's so much outside noise trying to pull you off of your truth? Well, the first piece is to even know what my truth is. Most of us don't even know that. For most of us, our path in life, our truth in life, tends to be formed from one of two things. Either I do exactly what I was told to do, whether it was by my parents and family or whether it was by my culture and society. Get a good job, make a lot of money, build your white picket fence, climb that career ladder. Or I do the exact opposite of what they told me to do, in the illusion that somehow that makes me free. But I'm actually just as stuck in both situations, because neither situation is based on actually my truth. Both of them are based on someone else's truth. Either I'm doing what they say, or I'm doing the exact opposite of what they say. Not because the opposite is my truth, but because they've said night, I've said day, that makes me feel free. Then, of course, they say day, I say night. And I keep feeling free until I realize they're playing a trick on me. It's like one of those old parenting, babysitting techniques for little kids where you say, don't eat your peas. And they, when you're not looking, what do? Eat all the peas. But if you say, eat your peas, when you're not looking, what do? They take the peas, they throw them on the floor. So in either case, we are just childishly walking someone else's truth. So the first piece is to know what even is my truth. Not in reaction to society. Not in you've said it so I won't do it. But really, what's my truth? And then to be sure to stay anchored in it. Because there is a lot of noise. And it's more than noise, it's actually also a physical, energetic pull. And so we have to stay grounded. And this is where your spiritual practice is so important. Every morning you get up, you meditate. Even if it's 5 minutes, 7 minutes. Because whether you actually experience enlightenment or not in those 5 minutes, you've connected with yourself. You've at least grounded and anchored in you. And then again, at the end of the day, you re-anchor, you re-ground. One of the ways that I like to think about it, because we do have to play roles in the world. And the roles may not necessarily be our deepest truth of consciousness, right? I mean, you may be a school teacher, for example, and you may have to be a disciplinarian at times, whereas in your heart you're just loving. But there may be times when you have to get a stern voice. You may be the CEO of a company or the president of a company, and even if in your heart there's nothing but love for all of your employees, nonetheless, there may be moments where you have to be stern and strict and even kind of bring on a drama of anger to make things happen. So there are roles that we play. And that's okay. As long as we don't forget that they aren't who we are. And so one way to think about it is in the morning, in your morning meditation, after you meditate, have a little ritual and literally feel like you are putting on your role, like zip it on. I'm going out into the world and here's the role I play. And then do it. Do it fully. Do it sincerely. Then at the end of the day, you come back. And whether it's in a physical shower that you have when you get home, whether it's in a spiritual shower through your meditation, either way. But literally take it off. And that'll enable you, even moving through the world, playing different roles, to stay grounded to your truth. However, that doesn't mean that you should play roles that are in direct conflict with your truth. And this is something that each of us has to negotiate for ourselves. If I know that my highest truth is soul, spirit, love, expansive consciousness, well, I may zip up the role of CEO or president or school teacher or whatever it may be. But I'm not going to zip up a role that is in contrast to what path I know I'm supposed to walk. And this is where, when we speak about universal dharma and then individual dharma. So we've got universal dharma. Is that dharma, that path, that way that we all are supposed to follow. Of waking up, of knowing the truth of who we are, of living with love and truth and oneness. But then we've got our individual dharma. And that varies. And it may even vary during different times of your life. But that's where it's really important to know within you. To anchor yourself in your truth of what's my truth here. And not to just allow the noise of society to tell you, here's how you're supposed to live. Because sadly, the louder it is doesn't mean the truer it is. And this is where you find that ability to be noiseless amidst the noise. Right? Meditation is not about escaping from the noise. It's not about running away from the world. But it's about finding that noiselessness amidst the noise. And then having the courage to walk it, though. Because that's also really important. A lot of us give in to the noise because we're afraid. What if people laugh? What if I fail? What if I walk my truth and I fail? And that's where courage is so important. And that's where my favorite piece of trivia about courage is so important, which is that the word courage, literally the etymology of the word courage, comes from the same root of the word cur, which means heart. And so courage actually requires an open heart. And it requires meeting the world with an open heart. And so find that.